Hi everyone, I'm Phil. Welcome back to the channel. Today, in this video, we're going to have a look at the fantastic song Skateaway from Dire Straits' album Making Movies. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. There's quite a few viewers that have asked for a tutorial on this one. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, starting point for this one is a little baby bar chord across the D to the top E strings, and we're on fret 7. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. And the three main shapes that you need for kind of the introduction and a lot of the song are that D, but with the addition of a lower third. Same, 2 frets down, it's a C. And then this is a G, so we've got 5th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D string, 4th fret of the G string, and then a little mini bar at the top with your index finger. Oops, but you have to play it better than I do. Okay, I've talked about that shape before as one of MK's utility chords. You can use it all over the fretboard, and he does it an awful lot. The beauty of doing that shape is that when you are kind of gripping the neck a little bit like this, you can really get there quickly and with some power. You can kind of grip that one. So it's one that's well worth getting used to. Okay, so those are the 3 basic kind of shapes for the introduction. But the main work on the introduction and throughout the song for the rhythm guitar goes on in the right hand. It's in the picking hand. So let's concentrate on that for a couple of seconds. So I've got that bar chord up at that 7th fret of D. So the fundamental technique on this one in your right hand is sort of this. So I've got index and middle finger on the 2 middle strings, and my thumb is sitting on the D string alongside my index finger, and it'll be doing a fair amount of this. I've talked about this technique in other videos, and it's one that keeps coming up time and time again with Mark Knopfler technique. It's what I call a kind of a chicken picking kind of technique. And the technique is that you pluck down with your thumb and immediately stop the string with your index finger. Okay. Same, plucking up with your index finger, stop it immediately with your thumb. Actually, I didn't do that with my thumb there, that was my index finger. Let me try that again for you. And you put them together. And then you can add in that 3rd finger. Quite difficult to do, but well worth practicing that one, because it comes up a lot in MK's playing. So let's split the screen now and have a look at that introduction. So the way he works this is he slides up with the 3rd finger of the left hand to that lower third. Let me do that slowly for you. Quite a lot going on here. Concentrate as well on that picking hand. Then we move down to the C. And there's that gripped chord of G. Okay, like I say, quite a lot going on there, and we've not even got past the introduction yet. So if you nail that technique, it'll take you a long way in not only this song, but in quite a few of MK's songs. Okay, so let's get back to the verses now. Here we go. Okay, I seen a girl on a one-way corridor. We start on that D. Nice and easy. Stealing down a wrong-way street. And then we get this, which is beautiful. This shape. So, what's that? 10th fret of the D string, 9th fret of the G string, and 10th fret of the B string. Beautiful little chord, that. So 9th fret of the D, 7th of the G, 8th of the B string, and then we're back to. Okay, so I'll do that in slightly faster mode. Then we're on For All the World Like an Urban Toreador, so that's the D and the C again. And then there's this. Show you this again. Slide up from kind of down here, kind of 3rd, 5th fret. Okay. So the 9th fret of the D string, 8th fret of the B string, and then a beautiful bend. On that G string. In rhythm guitar terms, in the background here, you've got that sort of thing going on with that chicken picking. So if you listen carefully on the album, there's a lot of that going on as well. So just bear that in mind, and if you can incorporate that in your practice, fantastic. If you're enjoying the video and getting something out of it that you can use in your playing, then please do consider giving me a like. Click the notification button so you get more content. And if you haven't already subscribed, it'd be fantastic if you would. It really helps me grow the channel. Okay, little lead part. Just as he sings Curbside Crawl, we do this. We're way down 2nd fret of the G string, bend up to the B string. I call that, and you'll find a lot of these techniques in, there's a series of short videos I did called Essential Skills. I'll put a card in the corner so that you've got that playlist available. But this is one of the essential skills. I call it the one string up bend. So we've got one string and we're bending up to the same note. So we're going one full step, one full tone up from one string to the same note on the next string. So we're going to here, which is the same note as that B string, and he does this. Or you could add in a little flourish on that one. Okay, so let's talk about the chords for the linking section. No Fear Alone at Night. Here we go. So we start with an A, just a little bar, and I just play. I only really play actually the A string, the D string, and the G string. But if you catch that B string as well, that's fine. So it's like an A major, and then what we have is a C sixth. So the easiest way to play that is with this shape. So we go No Fear, Alone at Night, and then we go to an E minor, but we actually only play initially the B, We don't play that bottom E. We just play it from the B. And John Ilsley on the recording, and probably live as well, he will play just that B. And then we play the whole chord. G. Back to the A. Back to the C6. And the music playing loud is G, G, A. Okay, so the next part is a beautiful little lead part that goes like this. Let's break that down. There is some stretching in this little riff. Have confidence that over time you will be able to reach these stretches. If you think you've got small hands or sausage fingers, you haven't. I always think of Andy Summers from The Police. He is, bless him, he's built like a 15-year-old girl. He's very small, he's very slight, and he's got small hands. And yet, look at what he can achieve on the guitar. I absolutely love him to bits. I think he's one of the best guitarists that has ever graced the planet. So if he can do it, you can. So a few stretches, let's go through that. So first thing is a 1-string up bend from G string 7th fret. Make sure you catch both that and the top string. And then you've got a 1-string up bend from the 8th fret of the B string. Again, make sure you settle on both the B and the E strings, because you've got this stretch here. Pull off. 3rd finger, 8th fret, B string, 1-string up bend. Stay on those 2 notes. Little bit quicker for you. That for me is one of the most quintessentially Mark Knopfler little riffs that exists. I think that's right up there with some of the fantastic stuff that he did on Sultans of Swing, for example. So persevere with that one. As usual, I'm going to say go slow, build up speed and strength and stretch gradually, and you will get there. When we get to Inner Ears, There's Phone So Tight and the music's playing loud, the chord sequence changes slightly. So previously where we had A, C6, E minor, that's the same. Then we come to the second part of that little bit, which is Phone So Tight, and we stay on that C, but it's not a C6 anymore, it's the C. So it's music's playing loud. Okay, let me go through that whole little section. And there's a beautiful on its own, it sounds a bit kind of country, doesn't it? Or rock and roll. Okay, so 10th fret, slide up from probably 8th fret. Okay, so for the next part, which I suppose you would call the chorus, we start on a G. Then we go to an E minor. Then to a C, making movies, then an A minor, and then a D sus4. So the easiest place to play this is here. And the movie makes a wanna be the story. story was, whatever was the song, what it was. Roller Girl. Don't worry. DJ. Play the movies. Then to an E minor. To a C. All Night Long. And then it resolves from that G to an A. There's quite a lot in that section of MK playing some, high up kind of bendy notes. It's not particularly substantial enough to do a whole section of the video showing you that. So it's a great opportunity to, get the ears out and see if you can work out where on the fretboard he's doing those things. And kind of work that through for yourself. I always say to people who I'm teaching or who I'm encouraging to play the guitar that your most powerful weapon isn't your guitar, it's your ears. Because if you can hear, you can then move that to the fretboard and play. That's one of the reasons as well why I never use tabs, because I think tabs take away the need for the ears. So if you can use your ears and find where those things are happening, that will stand you in really good stead. Okay, so as we've resolved to that A, there's an absolutely beautiful little lead linking part that I want to show you. So let's have a look at that. That lead linking part goes something like this. And we're back up there. So let me break that down for you. It's absolutely gorgeous. You'll love playing this. So I tend to start with my third finger on my left hand, 4th fret G string, bending up a full step. Another one. And a pull off. 4th fret D string. Back to the G string. Pull off. Hammer on. You can slide all the way up to that beautiful D on the 7th fret. Go through that again with you. Isn't that gorgeous? Just before we move on, I have forgotten one little lead lick, so let me talk about that now. It's just as MK sings, DJ play the movies all night long, and it could almost get lost in the arrangement, but it goes something like this. So just as MK sings, DJ play the movies all night long, we've got this. Okay, it moves around the fingerboard quite a bit. What it allows him to do is to move from up here to here. So we can do this. Okay, so let's just break that down. So we're up on the, what's that, 12th, 11th, 13th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th fret. So it's a pull off. And then here, set yourself up with this finger on the 8th fret across the 2 strings. You could end there. That note and that note are the same, they're just in different places. You can end in 2 places here. You could go. Personally, I prefer this. And the reason I prefer that is it lends itself to a little bit more of a staccato sound, that sort of cut-off sound. So, like this. So you've got a nice repeat of that staccato. The other way doesn't quite lend itself as much. They're both fantastic, they both work, so just do whatever's comfortable for you. So we're here. And we're into the next verse. So the next part, where there's any lead work to speak of that we haven't already talked about, is at the next, in our ears as phone so tight and the music's playing loud. And there's a variation on what he played previously. So previously he's gone. Okay, this time he does this. So we're back in the same place. Show you that slowly. You can add one little embellishment that will sound really nice, and that's by hammering on from the minor third to the major third. Let me show you what I mean. So, probably worth doing all your work on these three strings with your finger on the three strings, but only plucking two initially. Then you're hammering on. That's entirely up to you. It's just a nice little embellishment that makes it sound, a little bit more accomplished. Okay, so the next section that he does anything meaningful lead-wise is it's a very small section where he sings and the music makes I Want to Be the Story. And he does this. B string, 12th fret. Okay. It's a little bit difficult on the recording to hear exactly where all of the hammer-ons and pull-offs are, but my best guess is something like that. But my best guess is something like this. And then he goes up to the E string, and a lot of people will play it like this. Actually, what he plays is so you're just going up that one full step. Okay, the next bit of lead work is as we start to think about the outro of the song, and it's in the section where he's, slipping and a sliding, that kind of lyric. Now here we go, and he goes. Let's break that down. Big bend up on 7th fret of the G string. You can actually make your guitar talk without plucking it by just the way you're bending. This note is a great example of what MK does, so have a listen to this. So it's up, down, up, down. So it's a hammer on and a pull off there. A little bit quicker. Okay, the rest of the song is fairly straightforward lead-wise, and I would encourage you, to listen carefully, have a think about where on the fingerboard he plays, and work that through. Now, before we go, I just want to talk about amp settings for this song, for the rhythm, that kind of thing. Having a slapback delay, if you've got a delay on your modelling amp, or if you've got a delay pedal, putting a setting on there that gives you some slapback will give you a really authentic sound. What I mean by slapback is a fairly quick repeat on the delay, so not a very long time, so a quick repeat, and a very low feedback or repeat setting, so that you're only getting kind of one bounce back. Let me set my amp up with that, and I'll explain a little bit more about what I mean by that. But it's worth knowing that so you can set it up yourself. Okay, so I've got my little Yamaha amp set up. I've got I think some of these numbers are a little bit arbitrary, but I've got my time for my delay set at 15. So if you imagine it on the clock, it's at about 8:30 on the clock. So the hour hand is between the 8 and the 9. And feedback I've got set at 13. So again, it's at a similar position. I've got the mix at the moment set at 40. Let me just turn that up to 50. That'll over exaggerate it, but it'll give you an idea of what the slapback sound kind of sounds like. So it's like a da-da. Now if I play some of that rhythm guitar with it like that, it'll probably sound a little bit too much, but it gives you an idea. So I've turned that down to about 39 now. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so that gives you a bit of a better idea of what it might sound like. If you were recording this, you'd kind of play with that in your mix so that it cuts through enough, not too much, but that you can still hear it. But that's a little technique that you can use to make the rhythm guitar on Skateaway sound absolutely just like MK plays. Well, that's it for this video. Hope you got something out of it that you can use in your playing. So until next time, happy practicing. I'll see you soon. Bye.